Well, you hope to improve practice to practice and get better. We have playbook installation that we do, and we install a lot of the different plays of our playbook. And you look to see how well guys grasp the plays. You look and see which part of the playbook you have certain players that flourish in, and which part of the playbook maybe not be as beneficial to your different teams on offense, defense, and special teams. So we definitely want to get the installation of our playbook in and see what we're good at, what we're not so good at. And then you want to see the improvement of all the players that you have and what they can do and what they can't do. And that's kind of the start of spring ball for us, and where we hope to see improvement and that we don't digress.
Coming into your second spring practice as the head coach, what do you think will be different about that compared to your first? What would be some of the advantages?
I think the number one thing is our offense is going to be more comfortable being in year two. I mean, with Coach Haynes and Coach Brady being here, and now the players are much more familiar with them. At this time last year, they'd only been on campus for really a month, and now they're much more familiar with here. Everybody's more familiar with them, and I think it's just so much easier going into the second year of your installation of the offense and everybody being more comfortable with one another. I think with our defense, we continue to learn more about what we're good at and what we're not so good at. I was really disappointed in our run defense last year. That's going to be a point of emphasis for us, is doing a much better job in the running game. And then offensively too, we this past fall we turned the ball over at a ferocious rate, and so we really have to emphasize ball security and doing a much better job at taking care of the football.
Coming into spring practice, what is going to be your overall goal? What is the team's philosophy? What are you trying to get done during the 15 practice sessions?
I think a couple of things, like I just mentioned, the turnover rate. I mean, it was really very disappointing for all of us in how much we turned the ball over. We needed to accomplish getting more turnovers on the defensive side of the football. I was pleased with our special teams for the most part. I don't remember us having a punt block last year. I think maybe Baker may have tipped one, but for the most part, I really liked how our punt team responded. Our kickoff return team needs improvement. I didn't like our starting position on game day this past fall, and I really want to improve what we do on the kickoff return and how we do that. I like what we're doing on kickoff. I like what we're doing on the punt team and punt return team. I like to continue to expand and improve on what we're doing there. But overall goal, take care of the football, and then defensively do a good job of not letting it fly over your head and no big plays, and then obviously stopping the run. And those are some things that we really have to improve on based on last fall.
From an offensive perspective, your team returned 6 regular starters from last year. What do you think Coach Haynes and his side of the ball will be looking to accomplish during spring practice this year?
Well, in his words, I mean, the words that he uses with me is how excited he is to be more dynamic. And I think he can expand so much more on what they're doing offensively. He had to be a little more vanilla last year being in year one, and now here in year two and being more comfortable with the players and the players being more comfortable. I think he can really expand on what he's doing and on what they're doing. And I think it's just it does nothing but help, and then adding the players that we've added, adding the speed that we've been able to add, and the strength and size, and also I want to make sure I mention Coach Overweather and what he's done with these guys in the weight room. I mean, Coach Breland did a great job for us, and now Coach Overweather's taken off and done a great job also. And so we want to see how much stronger we've gotten, how much faster we've gotten. But no, I think offensively that's where I think we can be really much more dynamic.
Offensively, who are some of the players for Eagles fans to pay attention to during the spring?
Well, first one, and you're going to get to meet him here in a little bit, is Jake McSpadden. It just seems like yesterday that he just got here, and it's amazing how fast these guys grow up before your eyes. But Jake's going to be a major part of our offensive line and what we're doing. He's been all conference, I think, every year he's been here, and he's started for us since he was a freshman. And he's got to pick up where Bo Amos left off and provide some leadership and get guys going. And then same thing with our quarterback situation. I mean, we still don't know where we're going to be at with our quarterbacks, but Caleb Borghardt is competing along with Nick Stevens. We brought in some new guys, Max Holmes. We also signed a big 6'6" true freshman out of Parkview that we think is going to be very good for us. And so that won't happen until the fall when the freshmen get here. But as far as right now in the spring, we're very excited about what Caleb can do and what Nick can do, and certainly what our new face and Max Holmes can do. So we'll see what we have there. And receiver-wise, we really have a lot of great receivers that are going to compete, and running backs. And You're going to see everybody. Jamal Williams had a great year for us as a sophomore last year. It's going to be a junior, a big 6'6" junior from Kansas City. Paul Stevens was another one that had a real good year for us. It's going to be a senior from Branson, Missouri. And then our freshman, Sean Whitley, did a nice job for us, to name a few guys. Kelly Malloy has gotten much bigger at tight end. He's already up to 250 pounds, and we all know what he does catching the football and route running, and he's going to be very good for us. And then also we had the big Win kid that transferred to us from Missouri Valley, and he had to sit out last year, but he's going to be another big tight end that we're excited about. And added Elby Fonda at running back, and have some guys back. Rennie Reese is going to be a big part of our special teams and run game, and so we're pretty excited about what we have offensive line wise. Max Hotelling being back again and doing what he's doing, and Alika Lewis, our starting center, and there's just a number of really good guys there. We brought in Ricardo Macias as an offensive tackle, and excited to see what he can do. So we've got a lot of things we have to evaluate, but offensively we've got a lot of great pieces to look at.
Another one of those pieces, Trent Melmon. Talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, Trent being 6'5", and he's just a real physical kid. I mean, sometimes you get receivers and they're kind of divas and they don't want to do the dirty stuff, and Trent's not like that at all. He'll throw his nose in there. Trent's what I consider like an offensive lineman playing wide receiver, in that he'll get after you. And he plays with some attitude, and is a physical kid, and being 6'5", just big and strong, and we may even play him at times in some packages on defense at safety, since he played safety in high school, and he just likes to hit people, but he has great hands. He catches the ball very well with his hands, runs good routes, and very excited to see what he can do this spring.
Defensively, what are you looking to work on schematically?
First and foremost is stopping the run. We've got to do much better at how we play the run game and what we do against the run. I think last year we were forced in a position where we kind of had to be a little more vanilla on defense with some of the pieces we had on defense. We couldn't really explode and expand on the defensive packages that we ran. This year with the pieces that we have on the defensive side of the football, I think we're going to be much faster than we've ever been, and I think we're going to be able to blitz a lot more. Certainly than we did last year. I didn't feel like we really blitzed that much, and that really doesn't play in very well with what I like to do, because I'm a very blitz-happy person. And now being able to do more of that, work on those things this spring, I think is going to help us. But also I want to see what we do with just our 3-man rushes and our 4-man rushes, and I want to see that we can do what needs to be done to stop the run and do a great job on the run game. So that's the first thing I want to see. Obviously, I want to create more turnovers and do a good job in our pass defense. And I don't feel like we hit the quarterback enough last year, and I think part of that's just because we were so vanilla on defense. I think now I really want to expand on what we can do in getting after the quarterback, and first and foremost stopping the run, and then putting it in the quarterback's hands where we can go hit him.
Your defense returns 6 regular starters. Who are some of those players to pay attention to?
I would say, well, Hunter Kelly, you'll get to meet here in a little bit, and he was an all-conference player for us from Kirksville, Missouri, and he's a guy that we really rely on to be a rock inside, and he was very consistent for us. Damian Stevens is another D tackle that was a transfer for us last year. I think he'll be much more comfortable and be able to improve on what he was able to do last year, and I think he'll be very good for us. Colin Sizemore was hurt most of the year last year. He's our prime pass rusher that we have. Losing him really hurt us in the rush side of things, because he's the guy that we were hoping could pick up where Trevor Robinson left off. And unfortunately, we just weren't able to get to the quarterback very much out of just rushing the 4 guys, and we weren't able to really blitz as much as we like to do that. We had a lot of young people playing in the back 7 in coverage and everything, played a lot of true freshmen in the back 7. But now everybody's grown up and learned a lot more. And, Connor White's another one that has been a rock for us since his freshman year, and here he is as a 5th-year senior, and he's like a coach on the field for us, but he's going to be very good. Matt Harmon's going into his junior year. He led us in tackles last year and was all conference, and he's going to be a very good linebacker for us. And and then also in the secondary, hopefully we can keep Skylar Jamison healthy. Skylar will be one of our safeties, and he's just been hurt every year we've had him, and hopefully he'll be able to stay healthy this year and be able to do some things. And then we get Colton Muir back off an injury. He broke his arm last fall during two-a-days, and getting him back as a safety as well will really help us, and because he was really doing well before he got hurt. And there's a number of guys there that are just going to be very good for us. But the biggest thing for us is just the gel and the chemistry and meshing everybody together, and that's where we're not at the current time. We're still, we're still strangers to each other a little bit, and that's where we really have to work this spring to get to know each other and become more of a team and more of a family.
Who are some of the transfers on campus this semester on the defensive side of the ball that you expect to make an anchor?
Obviously, we like to see Russell Perkins step up at safety and do some good things, and I think him and Cole are going to have a good competition there, but also we're going to use both of them in nickel packages and things like that. Colin Teal's another one who was all-conference for us as a corner. He's going to help us a lot at corner and also playing inside in some nickel situations and things. And I think that's the other thing, too, is we are doing a little more substitution this time around to get more speed on the field. Normally, we left all 11 players, our linebackers, on the field the whole game. This year, we're working to get a lot more speed on the field and do some things with our defensive secondary and putting them in linebacker positions. So, but Russell's going to be very good for us. Brandon Justin's a corner that we think is going to be a very solid corner for us that transferred in, a big 6'2" kid that can really run and do some things. We get Kenny Wells back, which we're excited about. Kenny was doing very well, and he's probably got the best feet on the team, very good cuts and great breaks, and just, will, light people up, great hitter. And so getting him back is going to be very good. And those are a few guys. I'm trying to think some other transfers that we have on the team coming. Chris Collins is a linebacker that we had transfer in out of California. We think he's going to be pretty special for us. So there's some guys there, but we definitely have our work cut out for us as coaches as far as our evaluation and people that we need to look at. And my thing is we want these players to get us excited. We want them to show us why we recruited them. We want them to make plays, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about, is making plays and doing what needs to be done to help us win football games.